feels he can take first time.
Hello, I am in Windoek. My time in Namibia so far has been a bit, well, I don't know what the term would be, surprisingly or disappointing, or, you know, when I waited at that border for ages, and then I finally got to that lodge, and, you know, the rooms were a little bit, you know, average. They were nice enough. They looked out over the river, and they were all open, and they had insect nets and stuff, which was nice. But really, it was a bit rough. But that was okay, because, you know, I was happy to chill out by the river for a couple of days. But what disappoints me is that they just got no idea how to provide customer service. You know, like I said to them, look, would you mind ringing a taxi for me? Well, they charged me for the phone call. It was like a local call. They charged me for the phone call. I thought, you know, that's after they said, oh, we don't do that. I said, well, what do you mean you don't do that? You're a fucking hotel lodge. You got to provide service to your customers. Who's going to come here if you behave that way? So then they rang it up, and the taxi arrived in the dark, and you know, they should have sent somebody to my room to guide me to the, you know, it wasn't a long distance, but it was dark. There were fucking hippos running around, and they should have had someone come and take me up to the thing, but nobody bothered. There was nobody there. I'm sitting there at like 5:30 in the morning and waiting for this taxi to turn up in the reception area. There was no one there. It's just this lack of common sense, you know. Anyway, I got in my taxi. They're like a shared taxi type thing. They're just vans and little cars and stuff. I really didn't want to go on any, but there's no buses, there's no planes. The airline's gone broke, and they tell me that the Intercape bus isn't running. So, you know, there's no way for me to get to where I wanted to go. So I had this plan. I go to a place called Windoek in the Caprivi, because I was in the Caprivi strip. So I went to a place called Windoek. I got there, and they were just fucking around. You know, like they want to fill their cars. So I said, okay, look, I'll buy these seats. Oh, we can go then. Blah blah blah. And they, you know, still took an hour for them to fuck around. After I bought most of the seats in the vehicle. So then it was on the road, and it was really boring. You know, the scenery was very boring. There was nothing to see. That whole section right through to the Sumbe. How do you Sumbe? But it's like got a capital T, but which is silent. It's a nice enough town, Sumbe, but it's supposed to be the jumping off place to the national park. So I went to a hostel, and it was the worst place ever. It was so, like, the bed was one of those crappy, you know, those spongy mattress, not a real mattress, those spongy type ones. And the pillows were full of the same stuff that had been cut up into little pieces, and they were just lumpy as shit. And there was no sheet on the bed, so it was like stinking hot. And I couldn't open any windows. There was no fan, no air conditioning, no nothing. I couldn't open the windows because of the mosquitoes. There was no mosquito net. It was just really the worst place. And the woman was just so fucking rude. It was like, I said, can you organise me a safari into the national park? And she's going, we don't do that anymore. And I said, well, you're in the tourist industry in a small town. Surely you know someone who does do it. No, I don't. And that was it. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I spent about half an hour emailing all the lodges in the area, the other backpacker place. You know, this was yesterday afternoon around, because I went down to the shops to buy some stuff. I was trying to get a SIM card, but the mobile phone place was shut after 2 o'clock on Saturday. So I come back, and I'm sending all these emails. I've never got a response from anyone. And then this morning, after I left, because I had a gut full of the place, I thought, there's no point being here. So I packed up my shit, I walked down the road, no goodbye. No. Then there's this old bloke was staying there, right? And he sees me with all my shit on my back. He doesn't even bother. He's got his vehicle there. He doesn't bother to take, offer me a ride or anything. The people are just ignorant. So then I walk down the road and I get on my the service station where the share vehicles are, and I walk up and he runs up and I go, "How many people do you need?" He goes, "I need 2 more." Okay, I'll buy those 2 seats and my seat. It cost me, I don't know, $40, 40 bucks. It's just easier, otherwise you sit there all fucking day waiting. So we get into the car, and then they put some people in my seats, which is fine. But then when we arrive in Windoek and I ask my money back, "Oh no, you can't." And I'm just having a real, I get stuck into them because they're just fucking dirtbags. So anyway, I got my cash back in the end when I said I was going to call the police. They gave me my money back. Anyway, the ride from Sumbe, or whatever, however it's pronounced, to Windoek was very picturesque and very nice. It's a beautiful country. The roads are wonderful. The infrastructure is much better than in Zimbabwe or even Botswana. So it's a really nice place. And I'm in this pretty backpacker place now that Australian owned actually, but it's more of a it's got some good rooms as well as the usual dorms and stuff. And there's only 2 people here that I know of, a German and a Swiss guy. The German guy's here doing environmental crime work, and the Swiss guy's in the courts. He's been here for a year trying to get his money back after someone burned his camper van down or something. So, but my first thoughts about this place is that what the fuck is wrong with the people? Basic custom, it just doesn't occur to them. So anyway. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I'm just going to have a chill out today, and then I'm going to have a good night's sleep because I haven't had a good night's sleep for the last few days. And I'm going to have a think tomorrow about what I'm going to do. I got this bump on my head where yesterday morning at 5:30 I walked into this beam that I couldn't fucking see it. It was so dark. And he took my head off. Anyway, so I'm going to chill out till tomorrow, have some breakfast, and then decide what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on a walking tour around the city. It's a free walking tour. It's not free. You've got to give them a tip or something. But if she's good, I'll give her a good one. Tip, I mean. Anyway, so I'm going to have a think tomorrow. I've been talking to someone from some other backpacker place about hiring a vehicle and driving around the country by myself, and I think that'd be good because the roads are good but not for as long as I was, because I was 50-50 on getting my PCR test and going to Mozambique in 2 days. But it looks like the sort of place, a bit Aussie-like. You can get on the car and just drive around, see some shit, and just drive at your own pace. And I think that'd be cool. So that was my original plan. So tomorrow I'll think about what I'm going to do. But apart from that, it's a warm day. It's a nice day, and Windoek is a small city, very similar to Harare, except in much better condition. Lusaka might have been a bit bigger, I think. They have a bigger population, and Gaborone, similar, small, clean cities, quite nice actually. I thought there's a few beggars down by KFC down there, but they're annoying because they just follow you. But apart from that, I'm still kind of like this with this country. But I'm hoping that things will improve. But it just depends on whether you see the Northern Territory numbers plates up by the bar and the Queensland rum pig. That's probably Shane, I reckon. Over there you got Bugger in the corner. I know that Shane, he likes the bugger. So anyway, that's where I'm at. It's been not the best couple of days because those pricks in the car won't wear masks, and you're stuck in the car and they're breathing on you. And I'm just hoping I don't finally catch this nasty disease before I can move on to the next place. Anyway, just looking forward from that. Quickly, Mozambique to a place called via Johannesburg to a place called Nampulu, and then from there I'll take a car to the coast to Mozambique Island, maybe hang out there for 4 or 5 days, and then if I can get into Malawi, I'll be heading Malawi, and then on to Kenya after that. So that's the plan at the moment. No rush really, but I prefer to stay in Africa because Europe's a shit show. Okay, until the next time, signing off.